Hi, welcome again as I start my weekly forecast for my instrument using my mobile trading platform. So, using my mobile, I'm going to look at the forecast coming up as it come close as it closes for the month of January. I'm looking for the week forecast in the 29th of January to the 2nd of February. So we have two things here. We got the close of the month, right? Start of a week. And you can see here, right? I'm looking at the month. So if I look at the month, right, for NASDAQ, you can see here we're looking to see that NASDAQ has shown it has shown me clearly that it has went up and now it's pulling back. So if I should draw my Fibonacci line, okay, go to the bottom and I'm going to draw my fib as a guidance. Okay, so if I then go to the week, okay, and you can see clearly here, right? I'm just going to take this from the 23 to 0, okay, and I'm going to present this right for the next week. So you can see here it is pulling back. You can clearly see, right? Just a disclaimer, this is for learning process only for educational purposes, right? So I'm looking at the weekly forecast of all the instrument, right, as many as possible, and just going through the process over and over. How I use my mobile to actually track and actually look at the week forecast. So here we go. We're looking at Nasdaq 100. Okay, you can see that it has pulled, right? It coming to a key point end of month, start of the week, start of the month, right? And you can see clearly here it's pulling back. So it's pulling back here, right? So therefore, I'm looking to see that as the buyer comes in, because you can clearly see here, right, the bull is still strong. The bull is still strong on NASDAQ. So therefore, this is still a bull market for me. It pulled back here. So I'm looking to see what will happen. So it's normally, if I go to the month, right, that's where I take my direction from. As you can see here, it is bull, bull. So my direction and my bias here tells me that I'm still in a bull market. Everything indicates in a bull market it's above the 10, above the 20, right? So higher, higher, higher. Okay, all the little small buying is done, so it's still the small selling here has done. So clearly you can see. So what I'm looking for is an indication. If I goes down to the day, right, I'm looking for this to consolidate, basically, right, consolidate within, right, consolidate here, right, and coming and touching the 10 MA, and as it comes and touches 10 MA, and when the Asian market is all consolidation, right? So we're looking to see what the big boys will do. they will either, one, from this point here, the market will start to reverse into the 61.8. So I've got several markers here, right? So first of all, my indication on the day, as it goes through, I will look to see what happened, okay, when it comes to the 10, and then when it comes to the 66, right, what indication will happen here? Will the market start to, this is a very crucial point for me, right? As the sellers, right, comes in, right, and the consolidation within the Asian market, I will look in to see if it comes and sits, right? If it comes and sits by the 10 or comes to the 61.8 and start to bounce in, awaiting the London session, right? Awaiting the London session, right? Guys, please like and share the live, please. Like and share the live, okay? So this is looking at the weekly forecast, 29th of Jan to the 2nd of Feb for all major instrument. So I'm looking at NASDAQ and breaking NASDAQ down, right? So NASDAQ is in a bull market. So I've looked the day and the month is lined up as a bull, right? So I'm looking to see, right, either the Asian market stays within this range, then as it goes in the London market, it takes it to 61.8, or just the point that if the body come back into, if the body of the candle come back and sit within 61.8, heading upwards, I will be looking to do a buy here, okay? And, you can go further and look at this a bit further by looking at basically look at the 4 hour. Okay, so here, the 4 hour, the same thing, but it's on a lower scale. So I'm looking for it to come down, right? The Asian market, within the Asian market, I'm looking for it to be here. Okay, within the Asian market. Okay, can we like the live, please? Like the live if you understand, right? I'm looking for it to be here, this to come down, right, for in the Asian market. And if it stays and bounces within this region, okay, within the Asian market, as it goes into the London session, and the London session takes it here, right, and takes out the Asian low point, right, and start to bounce here, I'll be looking, right, to see the bounce from 61.8. If not, and it comes at 61.8 and start to resist here, right, and I can see that the bear is taking over, the bull is forming a minus here, I will look to sell. But this is a strong bull market, so this will continue until it signals differently. I explain here, so we can see where it stops here. I'm looking to see where if it's gap, if there's a gap up, right, or if what will happen here. So if it's a gap up and it continue, fine. If it comes down to here, right, within the London session, so basically it's going to bounce around here for I'm looking to see it bounce around here for my Asian session. Into London session, down to 61.8, take out the bottom of Asian session, right? And if it starts as it comes into, right, the London session, take out Asian session, comes and sit at 61.8. I look for it to give a tail end here. So as it goes in, stab into here in the 15-minute and start moving up, comes back, sit here, I will look to buy. And it will continue, right, from here moving upwards. Okay, so that's my NASDAQ, that's my prediction for next week. Okay, if, for example, the other scenario where it comes down in the Asian market, it gaps up first, right? So on Sunday, it gaps up to here, right? Then it starts to sell off to fill back the gap. Then it moves down, move along here. 61 again. I'm looking for 61. Right, 61 to be my resistance. If that becomes my resistance and it heads down, right, I look to sell. So they're probably selling off more before it goes into the February, right, start. Okay, so that's the two scenario I'm looking to work with. Okay, so that is NASDAQ. Let's just move on now to gold. Right, can you like the live for me, please? Like the live, share the live. Right, thank you very much, Danzel. Share the live, please. Share. Right, now moving on to gold. So I move on to gold. Okay, so gold, again, step one. So step one for my direction, I go to the month. I go to the month, identify the month candle. So here I can see that my direction, looking at the month, right, that's showing me downwards. But I've got here, right, it's above the 10, above the 20. So the next thing I'm going to do now is from the low point to the high point, right, from the low point to the high point, I'm going to draw my fib. Okay. Okay, from the low point to the high point, I'm going to draw my fib. Okay, so my direction, as I mark it off, then I'm just going to go to the weekly. Go to the weekly. Okay, and I can see that it actually, this is a wick here at the weekly, right? So that's a long wick, right? And it has not, right, the highest point it goes so far, okay, is here. Okay, so the weekly is showing down. So the weekly is showing down, so you can see here clearly. Again, I go to the day. All right. So you can see here it's bouncing off 23, right, at 2018.16. So gold, right, my indication is down. So what I'll be looking for is gold to come and retest the day high. Okay, we look for the gap first. Is there any gap coming up? So I look for it to, right, so we got there the day high. So I'll be looking for gold, right, to see if it will come, right, and test the day high. It's sitting just above 23.6. So 23.6, okay, what will happen here? So first of all, right, we'll see if there's any gap, right? The day high is here, okay? So my bias is to the low, so I'm looking for it to see in the Asian session again. So the Asian session, as I watch through the Asian session, right, will it be going up anywhere here, right? And then as it goes, will it be taking out that high? Okay, if it does take out that high, I'm then going to look to see, right, what will it be doing? Okay, after taking out that high, right, will it start returning here? Okay, that's what I'll be looking for gold. Okay, so can we share the live, please? Share the live, share the live. Share the live, please. Can we share the live? Okay. Let's just look at another instrument here. So if I look at US 30, so step one, I'm going to look for direction. So step one, the direction I'm looking for here. Again, you can see that this supported the fib. So higher, higher, higher. Okay. So the key point here, it is at the start of the month, right? All right, Danzel, it's okay. It's okay. No more likes, Danzel. Thank you. So what we need to do here, right? If you tap on the screen, Danzel, tap on the screen. That's good for me, right? So basically, you can see higher, higher. Okay, so again, this is a bull. Okay, so you can see it's actually push off 23. Now it's reached 0. So clearly, I'm looking to see that it takes this top, goes and sit here, right? Come back, right, to signal anywhere. If it comes back at the 10 MA here, right, come back and it resists, and then it start to make a tail here. I'm looking for this to make a positive push again to the upside. So the month is positive, the day, right, is positive. I'm looking to see that it comes in here, right? Grab liquidity. So liquidity is actually basically here is an area that it revisit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So I'm looking to see if it pulls back for the end of the month, start of the week here. Okay, grab liquidity and then start to make an headway here. Okay, so that is what I'm looking for US, right, 30. Okay, if I now move on to another instrument, silver and gold tend to move in similar, right, simultaneously. Silver a bit stronger. Okay, gold. Right, so go to the month first. Right, for my direction. I look at the candle. If you go to my page, go to my profile page. I've shows example of candle, what the candle does. So you can see here, lower, and it started to pull back nicely. Okay, so a clear indication where I'm taking this to. Okay, so clear indication, right? If it comes and tests the 20, okay, pull back and test the 20, okay, that will be a marker for me. So if I go to the week, okay, clearly you can see in my line here, this is the month. I'm looking for it to come back, test the 20, and then start to make its way. So clearly, this is for educational purpose only. Looking for it to come, test the 20 MA, 10 MA, the week, and then make its way down. Okay, that is what I'm looking for. Okay, so if I go through, so straight away, you can see clearly, right, this is for educational purpose only. Just educational purpose. Okay? Can you share the live, please? Share the live, like, subscribe, share the live, please. So, moving on. If I look at US oil, so the big thing I do, go to the month for my direction, look at the month candle, right? So you can see here, lower, right? And you got a strong up. So first of all, right, draw my fib, right? That's the high point there. So draw my fib. Okay. Nice when you can see how accurate the fib is. So on the week you can see here strongly going up, right? So this is a very crucial point now. So I've got a very clear point here. It goes above the 10. Now it's going above the 20. So the key thing is as we come through, right, we are looking to see what will happen, right, come the Asian market. Will it break through the 38? Or will this become a resistance? If it becomes a resistance, right, I'm looking to see it comes down, okay? If this become a resistance, it's one or two option we have. This become a resistant bounce, okay, right? As it bounce here, right, I look to see that as it goes in the London session, and if it start to be here, will it becomes a resistance? Will it comes back to here? If not, I'm looking to see it bounce at 23.6 and then take off, right, this direction. Okay, this is for educational purposes, right? Please be reminded this is for educational purposes, right? Any question you can ask, any instrument you want me to look at and break down with you, I can do that. Okay, but I'm just going through, right, the weekly forecast. So I've done NASDAQ, I've done gold, I've done US 30, I've done US oil. Okay, I'm going to look at some of the currency pair. Right, okay, let's look at UK 100. UK 100. Okay, so first of all, I look monthly. Okay, try to identify the monthly candle. The monthly candle here, it's right. You can see here it's even. Right, so there's no clear decision on this. Okay, but if I draw the fib from the low point, okay, if I take the fib, draw it from the low point, you can see here it's a massive selling off here. So basically, buying, right, even is start to sell off. So what we're looking to see is as the Asian market comes in, right, will it be just because there's the wick, right? That's the point it start to, right, the buyers, right, will they fill this order here? Okay, will that be filled, go above, and this become resistance? So there's two options from here. So either it goes clearly, go up, then start to bounce and go here, or what it will do is go open, right, see if there's a gap. If it gaps up here, right, within this box here, it's either going to gap up within this box, right, and then start to, right, sell off. It's either going to gap up within this box, right, and then start to, right, sell off. Okay, but I can clearly go down to the week. And I can see the breakdown more. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Please share the live, right? Please share the like, comment. Okay, moving on next. So clearly you can see. So I'm saying it's either it's going to go up here or this one is going to be resisting, come back down, okay, and then take off. Moving on nicely. You can take this down to the day. Right, the line's already there, you can actually see. So will it be going into 20, go up through, right, 23.6. 23.6 become your resistance. If 26.3 becomes your resistance, right, if that becomes your resistance, then it starts to sell. If it goes above the 23.6, right, it becomes, right, your support, and then it's bouncing off there. And then we're looking key point here as it consolidates through the Asian session, right? Will it go to the top as it go in the London session, or will it be selling off? So you got two options here looking at this. And this is how I look at these, okay, as I look through the week ahead. Okay, let's just look at some more instrument. Is there any instrument you want me to break down? Any instrument? Okay, we can look at, right, look at Great Britain. Japanese yen. So first of all, go to the month for my direction. Clearly, without a shadow of a doubt, this is a strong bull candle here. Okay, so as the month closes, this is closing very. You can see that it's engulfed. Look at this. This engulfed last month, right? Can you see that? That's engulfed last month, right? So it's engulfed last month. So again, if I go to the low point and the high point of this, and I will deliberately do another fit between 0 and 23 here. I then go to the week. Okay. Go to the day. Right. Okay. So you can see that again, what you're looking for is as this goes through the Asian market, you can see the consolidation here. Goes through the Asian, goes through the London. What we're looking for it to, as the Asian session as it goes through the Asian session, I'm looking to see it comes down. Right, it comes down, right, hit the 20 MA and then goes off here. So as it comes down here, I'm looking to see in the Asian market what will happen here in the Asian market. Okay, so what will happen here in the Asian market, right? Okay, so it's very important. For me, I use this as teaching, right? My biggest loss, I work with proper risk management. So my risk management is looking very closely, right, at the ratio 1 to 2. So my biggest loss, right, is about 200 to 300 pounds. I'm always risking 1% of my overall 1%. Right, so the app I'm using is MT4. So the app I'm using is MT4. Okay, MT4 MetaTrader, MT4. I will look at MT5, the difference and similarity, but MT4 is quite good. And basically, how I set this up, I use the indicator windows here. I've got my moving average, which is 10 moving average. Yeah. Thank you very much, moderator. So I've been trading over 10 years now. But this is not my main job. I've just used trade part-time. And I like because it's linked mostly with maths. Okay, so it linked closely with maths and probability. So moving average, all maths, moving average. Okay, so I use moving average, simple, close, right, 10. I use 20 exponential moving average close, right? So those are the two average I use. I use the volume, I use the bull power and the bear power, and these are just information to help me, right? The key thing is, right, I'm basically looking at the forecast for the next week. Yeah, because as I said, I do it part-time. I do it part-time, and I do like how it operate. Okay, so basically I'm not in, using it to earn or use it as my main earner. Okay, I just do it part time, and also I'm interested in using the mobile app. I really like the MT4, using the MT4. Okay, so as I said, this is for learning purposes. Okay, you can see this is and when I do this, right? No, I'm not full-time trader, I'm part-time. Right? And as I said, I'm exploring the app. I'm exploring the app live. I'm using it to educate and train live. These are things that when I done these, you can go away and trial them. You can try out all the stuff I'm doing here. You can actually, see how it works. You can use it in a dummy account. But the thing is, this is only for educational purposes. Only for educational purposes. You can actually see what's happening each time. I'm trading live. You can actually see the live data, what I'm doing, how the candle, what my prediction is. At the moment, the private, I want to build more content, build more public information, right? And then later on, right, when the learning and I see people understanding and making progress on the information that I'm sharing. If you go and as you look at my profile, you can see I'm uploading all educational stuff to support and help people understand rather than you jump into trading using a mobile phone trade or using whatever. If you understand the basics, so for example, how to set up the lesson, right? How to actually understand how the prediction. So, for example, if I go to something new, if I take an instrument, right? Okay, and I'm just looking at the technical here, right? No background, no fundamental. I'm just looking at technical. I look at New Zealand, Canada, new data, right? I go to the month. So I'm looking for direction to understand my bias. Hopefully understand what the word bias means. This is the way I will be trading, right? This is where I take the edge. Okay, so here I can clearly see that this is a strong monthly bull candle. So what I will do, I find the high point and the low point of here, and I can see one here. I will then draw my fib, right? Instead of drawing the loser line, I draw my fib. I draw my Fibonacci, and then I will look. You can clearly see that if you look at the body, you can look at look at the body. You can see that the body came on the month here at 2038.2. It then start to sell off. So my bias, so I take my bias, right? My bias decision here is to the downside. So I've got that in my head, okay? So I then move to the weekly. I move to the weekly. I can clearly see that this will go to the downside. So what I'm looking for as the Asian session open on Sunday, I'm looking to see that it bounces around here. Okay, so I'm looking to see 33. sorry, it's a third, no, 50. I'm looking to see it comes at 50, and 50 becomes my resistance. Even if the wick goes through 50, I'm looking for the body to come below 50 and stay below 50. Right? If it comes and stay below the 50, as it goes into the London session, and the London session push up, right, and started to make its way down, right, I will be expecting this to give me a nice, right, sell off. So I'm looking anywhere up there. And then I look to put in, as it enter back into this rectangle here, and stay below there as it goes in the London session, right? The New York session, I'm looking to sell, okay? And then I can further go to the day, right? And then I can, you got your 20, you got your 10 to work with. So you got basically dynamic moving average working with you. You got your 50 as support, and this is where I'm looking to see the 50 become my resistance. I'm looking to see the Asian session, right? I'm looking to see the Asian session here become my resistance. That's a key thing, right? That's a key thing here. I'm looking to see that become my resistance, right? If it doesn't come my resistance and become my support, then as it start bouncing, because the key thing what we're looking for the Asian session, right, to consolidate. And then my bias is to the downside. But remember, oh sorry, it's blurry. Okay. I'm not sure. Is it any better? Okay, so in the next couple of months, when I'm confident that everyone have the basic, I will put a challenge where I start with a 200 pounds and actually trade live, putting my risk and starting to talk about the mathematical risk, right? If you should lose and go back, starting with my bias, right? So basically, this is all I'm doing at the moment here is actually going through and showing you how you can use your mobile. Remember, you have your mobile every day, every second with you. You can trade with laptop, you can trade with all the other stuff, but this facility is on your mobile. Yes, support and resistance, but the thing is, you can't just think about that. I use the fib. The fib is quite powerful, right? And you can see, take the fib from any month, okay? Is it Azul? Is it Azul? Azul. As A-Z, Azul the King. Right, choose a instrument for me. Let's take an instrument. Let's take an instrument. You choose an instrument and we go and we break it down together. Choose an instrument that you want me to look at. Right, Dutch 25, okay. Right, so that's Europe, okay? So straight away, what do I go to the month, okay? I go to the month, hopefully you can see that. I can see here higher, higher, higher. So my bias straight away, right? My bias is to the upside. So my bias is to the upside, okay? That's my first bias. So that is the first information I take away from this. Then what I'm going to do is go to the high point and the low point, okay? So I go to the high point and the low point. Let me just see if I can pick up anything else here. So I go to the high point and the low point and I can see Okay, I draw my fib. Strong bull. I can skip, I can just look the week to see if I can draw, right, a further fib to this. So basically, within this, between 23.6 and 0, I'm going to draw another fib. This will help me, right? I'm not using this to, okay. Okay, so the day, clearly, the day and the month is lined up, all right? So can you see the day and the month, everything is saying higher, higher, higher. Okay, so what I'm looking for is, as the market open and in the Asian session, going into Europe, I'm looking to see a bit of pullback here. Okay, as it pull back, okay, I'm looking to see as it enter, right, in the Europe session, this time the Europe session, I'm looking to see a bit of a pullback here, okay, a bit of a sell-off, right, and as it pull back, I'm looking to monitor as, and I use to help me the volume. As the volume comes in, right, I'm reading the bull and the bear, right, the bull and the bear. As long as the bear remaining positive and the bull gets stronger positive, right, I know it's a buy. So the minute it pull back, right, and you can go to the 4 hour, even to the 15 minute. Now that I've got my bias and I've got my line, right, I can go back. So I'm looking to see it pull back nicely. You can see that it's going, hitting the 20, up, right, up, down. So it's going up. So I'm looking to see it goes up, pull back within the Asian session range, right? As long as it pull back, okay, doesn't take out any of these, right? As long as it sits in that range and go up. So on the 15 minutes, it's, you can see it lovely going through. So I'm looking to see comes up, comes down, push up. Okay? Right. Azul, does that make sense? Are you clear on that? Right. Any other instrument you want me to look at? Oh, you said you want me to look at ASI. So that opened early. Um, another thing I'll talk about later, but I can touch on it now. You also need to check, if you're a fundamental guy, you need to check if we have got um, if we got any news coming up. So I use, right, so this is what I use for my timings, right? Okay, so we have got, right, so depending on your timeline, right, so this is where I look where the market, so for example, right, so this is New Zealand, right, then you got the Aussie, right, and I think that's the Asian, Hong Kong, that is the Japanese, that's the Yen, right? So this is what I use to track the market across the timing. And then I use this depending on what time I'm trading, right? And this is across. So the big ones though are the overlapping one. London session, right? And the London session and the New York session. right? So this is the overlapping. I use this to help me with my timing. Also, you need to be looking also at, basically, is there any news, right, coming up? So is there any news coming up for, yes, so you can see here, depending on what time you have, right, you can set these up to set up your timing, right? So for news coming up, right, Thursday, right, depending on where you are, you got the Forex Factory, yeah. So you got some US news coming up on Tuesday. There's nothing for Monday. Tuesday, right? So Monday I used to kind of set up more technical stuff and look at the data more and see any gaps. Okay, I look to see any gaps. So you got Tuesday, there's some news coming up about the brown one that doesn't look at much, but the red one, that's the one that get the market moving. That's the excuse they use to get the market moving. Right? So on Wednesday, you can see that there will be CPI for Aussie news coming out at 3 my time, 3:30 a.m. Right? So that is the Middle East time. Right? Looking at Dubai time, Kuwaiti time. Okay, this will give you a lot here, right? So you got China manufacturer PMI, right? All day Europe there will be news coming out of Europe on Wednesday. US also have not farm employment that get the market moving. So some of these also tells you when the market is shifting. So basically another trick I have, and I will have to trade this live for you to see what's happening. So basically the first 4 hour leading up to these, the last 4 hour leading up to this kind of dictate, inform you where you go with these. Okay? So you can see, so this will give you on Wednesday, you can clearly see on Thursday, up to Friday, there will be some nice movement in the market, right? Fundamental, guys. So I use this, right, to help me, right, to see where the news is going and where this, with my bias, kind of help me. Again, if you're not happy with fast market, you leave these ones, right, to run through, and then when the market settle, you start trading. Okay? So as I said, I'm using a couple of months to build up my content online. I will continue to trade, right, using just the app. I will look at MT5, right? I'll talk a bit about all the different ones I'm using. So I've got TMG. I'm not being sponsored by any, right? TMG, Ford Trader, right? Pepperstone, CMC, Avad Trade, okay? And if you're from UK, I'll be touching on Plum and Revolut. Okay? So these are what I use. Okay, so if I spend the next 11 minutes and just touch on a few more of these, 11 minutes. So, okay. So, any more thing you want me to look at, Azul? Azul the King, do you want me to look at any more any more instrument in specific. And remember, this is just educational purpose. You can ask me anything about this. Ask me, you know, how, how do I know? Why do I know? I've explained how I take my bias. Right, you want me to look at Canada and Aussie. So Canada, Aussie. So step one. Whoa. So step one, I see a massive wick here. So there was a massive. So if I go to the month, right. So here we go. This tells a story here. So for the last one, pull up 1, 2, 3, right, 4 months. Okay, so for the last 4 months, hopefully you can see this. Right, for the last 4 months, you can see clearly that it has been sold off. And now for this month in January, it has given a strong indication. Okay, so for this week, all I'm looking for, right, is a continuation, right, because this is a strong, we call this a Middleman. It engulf. Can you see it engulf? It engulfed the last cell candle. So it engulfed December, right? And you can see clearly here, right? You got beer, right? Some beer happening here, but if I go closer, weekly, okay? So you can clearly see that, right? Goes to 50, goes down, right? And you can clearly see it's pulling back a bit, but not much, right? And I'm looking to see, there you go, it's a solid push. So I'm looking to see this go up here, touches 50, bounce a bit because it actually tested here. It's now going to take all of these out. Yes. 1, 2, 3. So it's strong, right? Touches the 10, 33. So there's two convolents here. You can see. Go at 20, right? 10, pushing up nicely on the day. So you can even break it down even further to have a look at the candle strong, right? So basically, wait to see if as it open, it's either this shows me that there will be a gap up here. Because as it closes, you can see the buyers come in strongly. The buyers came in strongly as it started to close, right? So we are looking to see this gap up a bit. Then what it will do is come back to fill that gap and then head up. As it come back to fill that gap, it will be heading up. Yes. Okay. So look at the practicality of this, right? So first of all, we got a target here, right? And you can see it's very strong. This is a strong buying coming in. So at 50, right? The only time I will be worried or be watching is when it get to 50. Will the 50 become a resistance like here? Because we got to the left here. To the left, we got a point of reference. Got point of reference here that it reverses here. Okay? So I'll be look to see what it happened. If it goes to the 50 if it goes close, there's two times I will be monitoring. I will be monitoring, is this close to the 50 at the London session, right? Or is it close at basically, is it close at the New York session to the 50? If it goes through anytime within the Asian session, the Asian session, Australia, and it goes through here, become a resistance, right? This is my key. So I've got a marker here. I've got a target and I've got a marker. Yes? Is it Azul the King? Have you been trading for long? Or you just learning? When it touch the lower support, and it will be breakout. Okay. Right, you're saying what? When it touches 38 point, when it touches here? Okay, where is your bias? Your bias is to the upside or to the downside? First of all, where's your bias? First of all, have you established your bias? Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. So I'm happy to see, right, when it opened on Sunday, will there be a gap up? So if it gaps up here, right? So watch to see if it gaps up. Because remember, transaction is always happening. So watch to see if it gaps up here. That's the key thing. If it gaps up here, you know it's going to become, as long as it doesn't pass the 50, it will come and fill that gap. Right? When it fills that gap, right, will it go through the gap if it gaps up and come and head this way? If not, and it head in here, it goes past the 50. When it touches the 50, will it be resist or will it be support? So I've got my marker here and I've got my target. Yes? Are you happy with that? Okay. So it is now 2013. Okay, I will be now closing. I'll be up and on in the New York session. The prediction and what I go through, I will be trading those same instruments so you can actually see. I'll be uploading this on my YouTube channel, right? I'll be putting the shorts on my YouTube channel also on TikTok, so you can actually see, right? You can actually judge these instructions, so you can actually clearly go through, follow my instruction, right? What you want to do is able to come in the market at any time, identify which market is open, identify the instrument, right? Able to draw your line quite quickly, right? Use your monitoring information you have. Make sure all your information that you have is giving you clear instruction. Okay, so I've got here bull power, bear power. Is that correlate So if it's the bull, I'm looking for positive in both area, right? So I'm looking for positive bear, positive bull, volume start to increase, okay, and I'm looking to my left, right? Are those supporting those information? Okay, so if those are supporting those information, then I know I need to buy when I'm making my decision. If it's not, if the volume is weak, right, the bull and bear is actually at the same and it's becoming negative in the bear, then I look, the volume start increasing. Correct, Denzel. Okay, so the volume is important and it links with each time the market open. And you can find out when the markets are open by using, right, the World Stock Map. This one, right, it tells you when all the markets, what's going on here? Right, it tells you when all the markets are open. Okay, and you work your way across. Best time to trade or best time to come in the market is when the volume is increasing. Okay, well done. At this moment, thank you very much. As I said, I will pop into the New York session and I will go over some of the instrument leading from the prediction from the Asian session. Look at the London session, right? And then look to as the market open in the New York session, what will happen. As I said, I'm building content for now. I'm not doing anything private, but as I do my challenge, right, starting with about 200 and then that's when I'll start looking at my ratio, right, and actually look to show people how you can grow your account. Right, thank you very much. Have a great evening, morning, or night, wherever you are in the world. Speak to you tomorrow. The mobile trader is out. Peace.